Okay, there's this Seville orange marmalade. So this is what you need. First of all, obviously, Seville oranges, 2 kilograms. In this case, it's 13 of this size. 3 bags of sugar, preserving sugar, makes the better, more clear jam at the end of the day. And 1 lemon per bag of sugar. So 2 kilograms of oranges, 3 kilograms of preserving sugar, 3 lemons. So what else do you need? Well, you need a juicer to juice the oranges. This one will make it easy, of course, and I'll show you what you do after you juice them. You need a muslin to put all the pith in from the oranges, and what that does, when you boil it up, the pectin comes out, helps it set, and the flavour as well. Then, of course, you need a number of jars to put the finished product in, and a preserving pan. This is a very fancy one, but any preserving pan will do. So that's an introduction, and I'll show you how to prepare the oranges next. Okay, Seville oranges. The way you can tell the Seville orange really is a very rough skin, and then when you cut one in half, they're like this. They're just very pippy, very pithy and everything else, but they've got a great bitter flavour. So what we do, once you've washed them, cut them in half, is start juicing. So this is the easiest way to do it, of course. Otherwise extremely tough going through all these. There's not a great deal of flesh in a lot of them, so you have to make sure you get absolutely everything off you can. What you then have to do is scrape the pith out, and I generally use a spoon like this, and this is a right pain, but you have to go round pulling the pith out, so you're left with just the orange skin, because you're going to cut the skin up to get the peel, and the pith is going in the muslin bag. So this is where I'm going to put all the pith that will eventually go in the muslin bag. And you get the idea. So you get a thin, really just a skin left there. That's all there is. So I'll pop the skins in that one, and then just got to do the rest of the 13 oranges. So I've got this bowl full of all the pith, the seeds and everything. And don't waste a thing. So, you know, in the juicer there's bits of orange flesh and everything. Take it all out, keep it all. Don't throw anything away. So that's that. And then we've got the skins here, all de-pithed, ready to cut up for the peel. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to juice these 3 lemons. Okay, so this is the way I do it. You can choose your own route, but basically it's cut the stem bit out, put 2 of them together, and then just slice them. As I said, you can do this whatever thickness of peel you like. I mean, I suppose this is about medium. So there's 5 litres of water there, and into the 5 litres of water we pop our peel, like that, and then the juice we put in as well. There's quite a lot of liquid in here now. Here's the muslin bag, so we're going to basically put all of that into here and tie it up into a little parcel. And here's the muslin bag filled up with all the stuff, and we just pop it in there. I'll probably tie the sides off to the handle here just to stop it sinking in, and that's it. Leave it overnight. Here's the next day. We've started boiling, and the idea here is to reduce the volume of liquid down to just under 3 litres, so about half, and to do it slowly over at least an hour and a half to soften the peel. Okay, if you look here now, there's just under 3 litres, so it's about just under half the original volume. And then over here we have the muslin. So the idea is to get all this lovely goodness out of the muslin bag just by squeezing it gently, because it's very easy to break it. And then once you've finished, you just add everything you've squeezed out to the preserving pan. Okay, final but most nerve-wracking stage. We're going to finally boil off the jam with sugar. So 3 things. Sugar goes into a baking tray, and we put that in the oven with the jam jars at 100. Sterilise the jars, warm up the sugar, and we have a plate, a small plate here, which we put in the fridge, and we're going to use that to test the jam later on. The sugar's been warming about 10 minutes. I've heated up the liquid in the preserving pan, and I'm just now going to put the sugar into here and stir it to dissolve it. You don't want to put the heat up too high once you're dissolving the sugar. And once it's fully dissolved, then you can start boiling it rapidly to get to the setting point. So first of all, just going to put the sugar in here and start trying to dissolve it. So turn the heat up to start it boiling rapidly, and what happens when this happens is that the sucrose and the sugar gets turned to fructose and glucose. It's called inversion, and that then with the pectin forms a treacle, which means you reach the setting point. So at the moment it's all runny, but as time goes on, maybe 10 minutes, maybe a bit more, it will suddenly start getting a little bit more syrupy, and I'll show you that in a bit. So how do you know when it's boiled enough? That's a tricky million-dollar question. So first of all is the spoon. If it starts coming off the spoon in rather than one sort of run, it comes off in lots. So that's not quite there yet. But then the main way you test it is by putting some on your cold plate, like that, and you let it cool. And once it's cooled for a minute, you run your finger through it, and if it sort of creases, it's done. So we've been going 20 minutes now. And if you look at what happens when I lift the spoon up, it's breaking up a little bit into more than one dribble off the spoon. So that would indicate that it's getting there. So you get your cold plate and just drip a bit on it like that, and just leave it for a minute. So if you run your finger through it now, if it's ready, it should crease in front of your finger. It is a bit, and where you've put your finger through, it shouldn't flow back. So it's flowing back a little bit, so I think it just needs another couple of minutes. Key thing is, whilst you're or when you get close to this setting point, you want to keep turning it down because you don't want it overdoing. So here we go. Let's see what this looks like. That's a good crease. Do you see that? That's done. And you see it's not really going back. You've still got a gel lump. So once we've reached setting point, we've got to let it cool now before we put it in the jars. Otherwise everything will float to the surface, all the peel. So you probably need to leave it 15 minutes, stirring it every now and again. Right, so we're ready to put into the jars now. It's been cooling about 15 minutes, and I think it's cool enough, but who knows. So I just give it a little bit of a stir, and I tend to use a little jug like this to pull it out and then put it into a jar, and then an able assistant can try and put the lids on without burning themselves. So this is what I normally do. Let's pick one of these. Of course, never enough, is there? You want to fill them so there's a little bit of a gap, like that. And that's basically it. Screw the lids on. Here's the final result. I think it's 11 jars of various sizes, plus a little bit for breakfast tomorrow. So good luck. Sure you can do it.